How many times did our Prophet ﷺ perform the Umrah or Hajj? So let's start with the Umrah. Now there is a bit of difference in opinion when it comes to the Umrah because it depends on which one you're including or not. So let's start with the basics. Around year 6, the Prophet ﷺ and the Muslims, they were making their way from Medina towards Mecca with the intention of performing the Umrah after the Prophet ﷺ had seen that famous dream, which is also alluded to in Surah Al-Fath in the Quran. Now we know that when the Muslims arrived at a place called Hudaybiyah, they were barred from entering Mecca and they could not perform the Umrah that year. However, the Prophet ﷺ did offer a sacrifice, hence why some scholars include this as one Umrah. But we know that they did not actually perform the Umrah after entering Mecca. Now fast forward 1 year from there, as we know in the Seerah, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah stipulated that the Muslims could return the following year to perform the Umrah. So we know that the Prophet ﷺ remained in Mecca for 3 days and he definitely did perform the Umrah around year 7 Hijri. Then fast forward another year after the Battle of Hunain, Ta'if, as many of you know it as, again on the way back, some of the scholars mention that the Prophet ﷺ performed Umrah there. And then we know, and this also answers the second part of the question, how many times did the Prophet ﷺ perform Hajj in his lifetime? And we know that he performed the Hajj once, and that was in the year preceding his death, alayhi salatu wassalam, as what is known as the Hajjatul Wada, or the farewell pilgrimage, the farewell Hajj. So the Prophet ﷺ also performed an Umrah with this Hajj. So when you put all of the Umrahs together, and if you include the one where he performed the sacrifice but he did not actually perform the Umrah, then the scholars say there are 4. If you discard that one, then he performed it 3 times. And for the Hajj, as we clarified, he performed the Hajj once in his lifetime. And you might be wondering, why only once? Why not more than that? Remember, the rulings were coming down slowly related to Hajj and Umrah, and towards the end of his life, Allah had revealed the full rulings and abrogated the previous rulings. So, to summarize, the Prophet ﷺ, he performed Umrah 3 to 4 times in his lifetime, and he performed the Hajj once.
Follow us and subscribe now on all things Hajj and Umrah.